It is story time. Well, it's story time for the start of this video, but then I'll just kind of get into some other stuff. Well, I was at the gym this week and I noticed my old friend's brother there, which got me thinking of the topic for this video. The topic being success and the fear of success. So, first, I'll just start with the backstory of this old friend of mine that I mentioned, which I knew during my last year of college before I enlisted in the US Army and shipped off to basic training. Well, after I'd got back from the Army, which wasn't a very long career, things happened and I got discharged pretty early, not going into detail, don't need to. Well, I started hitting the gym more often than I did before joining the Army, partly because of the sense of discipline that I learned in basic training, and partly because I had lost so much weight while in the Army, mainly from sleep deprivation and a few other things. But yeah, mainly sleep deprivation. So one day I was in training with him in the gym, and he was in pretty good shape. He mentioned to me that if he can get his hands on some steroids, that he would get totally fucking jacked, as he put it, and make a career out of bodybuilding. At first, when he said this to me, it was in a joking and sarcastic manner. He didn't seem serious. And then when he was driving me home, he told me that he was actually serious about taking steroids and whatnot, to get totally jacked and make a good bodybuilding career. Well, he then told me that he was worried that the steroids might not work as expected, and then he would be ridiculed, and people would think that he was so gullible and naive, so on and so forth. And I could kind of relate to this in a way of me avoiding situations like this by practicing silence, which I will get into in a later video. Um, I will be making a video about the four powers of the Magus sometime later on, hopefully sometime before March. I will see. But as I was saying on the topic, it has been a while since I have last seen him. I heard that he had his second kid about a few years back. I think this was 2020, 2021, and that was about it. For all I know, he very well could have taken steroids and made a career out of bodybuilding. And if he did accomplish his goals, then I do congratulate him. I was going to ask his brother about him, but he seemed like he was in a hurry and got an important call and had to get on his way. So I couldn't really get the chance to do so. The point is that there are people who are afraid of success, both consciously and subconsciously. Usually, when people think of someone being afraid of success or regretting their success, it's almost always something to do with jealousy, particularly if that success is in the form of beauty and sex. Then there is also the fear of being seen as a giant dollar sign, with people trying to take advantage of you or throw you under the bus, such as the case with many celebrities who have been quote unquote exposed or betrayed, which I typically have no firsthand experience of in terms of the events or even the individuals involved. And there's the fact that many of these so called scandals happened 15 or more years prior to them making the news. So you knew about this quote unquote horrible stuff and these heinous crimes for years on end, but you are just now making light of it. It's just now becoming part of the news, and these things are just now happening. I'll take it with a grain of salt, but I guess I can also give the benefit of the doubt, as I like to do. Well, I know that what I said has rustled at least a few jimmies, but sometimes the jimmies need to be rustled. Anyways, that will be it for tonight.